Hi, I'm Ezelle from the upcoming. It's really lovely to speak to you today. So, congratulations on this fantastic film. I absolutely loved it. Totally got me
Thank
in the
you,
Christmas
Ezelle.
spirit. It's
Thank
brilliant.
you. Thank you. I'm happy to meet you as well, Ezelle.
Oh, and I love your background, very Christmassy.
This is where I live. This is not a background. This is actually just how I spend my
Day to
Wednesdays. Yeah.
day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So, perhaps you could start by telling us what Candy Cane Lane is all about for viewers that are looking forward to watching it.
To me, the whole movie is about joy. That's where the idea started from. That's what I am trying to bring more of into the world. I think it's what we all need. Um, it started, it was a quote from Theodore Roosevelt that said, "Comparison is the thief of joy," which just always stuck with me. And so early on in the concept of the movie, I had this idea that in the small town of El Segundo, which actually has a lot of community murals, I wanted a mural that said comparison is the thief of joy. And that's kind of where the idea came from, about competing over house decorations and how that competition kind of undermines the spirit of the holidays. But to me, it's about joy.
Oh, and I sort of read somewhere that it's inspired by your childhood, by a
Yeah.
road that was near you. Can you talk a little bit about that inspiration behind the film?
Yeah, so my there's this little town in Southern California called El Segundo, and it is right next to LAX International Airport. It's next to a refinery. It's next to a water treatment plant. It's this wonderful little beach community, but it's also surrounded by all of this industry. And my parents moved there many, many years ago at the top of this cul-de-sac that every year we discovered since the 1940s goes way over the top decorating for Christmas. And my dad, who's a truck driver by trade, my mom was a teacher, but he was that guy who would always make stuff. He was constantly making things, woodworking, doll houses, toys, forts. He loves making stuff. So he always had a wood working shop in his garage. This one year, he went all out and decorated the front yard to such a degree that the actual cul-de-sac of Candy Cane Lane, which he lived up the street, there was a little tension because he was kind of attracting attention up the street. And that's when I learned, the veneer of neighborly love is often only so deep, in a very playful way. But over the years, my dad's decorations, the neighbors near him would ask for his hand-me-downs. So they started using his, and over time, the street kind of extended up the block. So I do have a very personal connection to this neighborhood and this story.
And obviously, you're no stranger to the sort of fantasy genre of the Muppets Haunted House. So, can you talk a little bit
Yes.
about sort of the things that you put into sort of the set design, the CGI, the Zellatrope, with the background of animation too?
Yeah. I mean, look, I have to tell you, I have such unbelievable respect for the artists, everybody who was involved with this film, because it's easy for me to just have an idea and to type it out into a document, but then somebody has to actually go make that. And the production team, the design team, the art team, the animators on this film just took this beyond my wildest imagination. Again, it was easy for me to go, wouldn't it be cool if little Dickensian figurines came to life? You can do that, right? And they go, well, we can. It's going to take a lot of work and time and money, but we'll do it. And they just did an extraordinary job. So that to me is the most magical part of all of this, is that I could invent something in my mind, and everybody was so willing to just run with it and try it and then elevate it and make it even more magical than I anticipated.
It's obviously been like having a limitless script that you passed on to everybody. But what were
Yes.
some of the challenges of that? Because it is a really epic production, isn't it?
Well, it's funny because the director, Reggie Hudland, I would early on sort of shyly come up to him and I go, hey, I kind of have a big idea. And I would pitch him a big idea and he would look and he'd go, okay, there's only one problem. It's not big enough. And so Reggie would even take a big idea of mine and make it even bigger, to the point that sometimes our producer they'd see us off in the corner talking, and they walk up and be like, no, stop. We can't afford it. Whatever you're thinking about, we can't afford it. You got to take a step back. So I had again, the joyful experience of being on set with him for every day of the shoot, and him being so open to big ideas, as you've seen. Like it's a big movie, but I think Christmas should be a big deal.
Yeah, I agree with you. And obviously, you've got Eddie Murphy on board. I mean, how amazing is that? Was he kind of in your mind's eye when you wrote the script, or was he a suggestion and then came on and you were so pleased? I mean, he brings so much enthusiasm to this, doesn't he?
Enthusiasm is the perfect word, and in terms of, not only him bringing his comedic genius and also his dramatic acting chops, because there were a lot of moments in this movie that are very grounded, and that's really how I wanted it. I wanted this to be an everyman, an every family that every family can relate to. My family at the holidays, our big tradition is to watch Christmas movies as a family, so I really wanted every family to relate to it. So him bringing his comedy, of course, but also his really moving moments with these characters that he has taken on, it's just an absolute dream.
And what do you hope that viewers will take away when they watch this?
I do, coming back to joy, I hope that they just have the biggest smile on their faces when they watch it. I hope they watch it with loved ones. I hope it reminds them of what really matters. I think all Christmas movies, their intention is to remind us that, it's not the decorations you put on the outside of your house, but it's who you're spending your time with on the inside of your home that matters. So I hope that it brings a lot of joy and a lot of togetherness, which I think we all could use a little dose of about now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And just finally, obviously, there's a lot of traditional Christmas tropes in there. But then you've got the
Yeah.
perfect family, the presents. But then there's hugely modern glaze. So we have a Black Santa, the Instagram pop up. Was it always a choice to kind of modernize it and bring it to a wider audience?
Yes. I mean, I have a 15-year-old daughter who, was young. So she's, every time she would roll her eyes at something, I go, okay, well, I need to adjust this and make this a little more contemporary. So, but to me, that's also exciting to have a lot of the traditional things that we hope to see in a holiday movie, and then, subverting expectations in fun, contemporary ways.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for speaking to me. It's brilliant. Absolutely loved it.
Thank you. Really
Congratulations.
love to meet you as well, Ezelle.
Me too. Thank
Okay.
you.